In 1962, a retired Navy pilot named David Bunger sat down at his typewriter to record what he believed was the most important manuscript of his life. Bunger was no ordinary storyteller. He was a decorated naval aviator with over 3,000 flight hours and a veteran of the Pacific Theater. More importantly, he was one of only 12 pilots selected to fly alongside Admiral Richard E. Byrd during Operation High Jump in 1947, the largest Antarctic expedition in history. For 15 years, what he witnessed in those frozen wastes haunted him until he finally decided to tell the truth. The resulting document was printed exactly once by a small publishing house in Ohio. Within 3 months, every copy had been pulled from circulation, the publisher refused to speak, and Bunger's family was eventually told to never mention the document again. For decades, this manuscript was considered lost to history. It wasn't until 2004 that a single surviving copy surfaced at an estate sale in Oregon, tucked inside a hollowed-out Bible. What it contained was not just a memoir of a cold expedition, but a complete rewriting of the official narrative regarding Operation High Jump. While the public was told the mission was a scientific exercise to test equipment in polar conditions, Bunger claimed it was actually a military operation designed to locate and neutralize advanced underground installations. These were not natural formations. Bunger described vast subterranean complexes with infrastructure that appeared to predate modern industrial methods by centuries. The heart of Bunger's account centers on a region now known as the Bunger Hills in East Antarctica. During a reconnaissance flight in January 1947, his crew detected unusual electromagnetic readings coming from beneath the ice sheet. As they descended, they observed geometric patterns through breaks in the ice, a grid system of structures spaced at regular intervals. These buildings were made of a dark, polished stone that seemed fused or molded rather than cut and stacked. Most disturbing to the crew was the reaction of their aircraft. Instruments began failing, altimeters spun wildly, and the radio filled with rhythmic pulses resembling an unknown code. Despite the aircraft's heating system running at full capacity, the cockpit temperature plummeted 20 degrees in less than a minute. Bunger's co-pilot, Lieutenant Davis, reported seeing movement on the ice, figures moving between the structures in coordinated patterns. Davis captured photographs using the aircraft's belly-mounted camera, but those images were confiscated the moment they landed. Davis himself was debriefed separately and reassigned within 48 hours. Bunger never saw him again. Later inquiries revealed that Davis had reportedly died in a training accident in 1949, though no public record or obituary ever confirmed it. Bunger wrote that even Admiral Byrd seemed shaken by these revelations, holding secret meetings with senior officers that excluded the General Command staff. The official story claims Operation High Jump was terminated early due to unexpected weather. Bunger, however, tells of a specific incident involving a landing party sent to investigate a rectangular building near the Bunger Hills. The party, consisting of scientists and Marines, discovered that the interior of the structure was significantly warmer than the outside air, despite having no visible heat source. As they descended, they found the walls lined with a steady, pale blue light that seemed to be emitted by the stone itself. The Marines reported seeing symbols carved on the walls that matched no known language. Then the tone of the transmission shifted to pure panic. Through the static, the pilots overhead watched as 2 naval officers fled the entrance, followed by tall, thin, humanoid figures moving with unnatural biomechanics. The entrance to the structure then appeared to flow shut, sealing the remaining 6 men inside. They were never recovered, and their names were expunged from the expedition's casualty lists. Following this encounter, Admiral Byrd ordered an immediate withdrawal, stating that the expedition had encountered forces beyond their operational capacity. Upon returning to the United States, the Navy classified every aspect of the findings and instituted a policy of silence. Byrd was sent on a managed press tour, but he was a changed man, withdrawn and haunted. In 1955, Byrd allegedly gave Bunger a final warning. What they found in Antarctica was about the control of a narrative that could rewrite humanity's understanding of its own past. This account aligns with the Tartarian hypothesis and other revisionist histories suggesting that a global, technologically advanced civilization existed before the current historical timeline. This civilization possessed energy systems and construction techniques that we still struggle to replicate. Antarctica, remote and protected by international treaties, would be the ideal place to hide such evidence. The Antarctic Treaty of 1959, signed shortly after Operation High Jump, effectively turned the continent into a restricted zone under international oversight, ensuring that no single nation could reveal what lies beneath the ice without the consensus of a global coalition. Bunger also provided context for a famous 1956 interview Admiral Byrd gave to a Chilean newspaper, where Byrd warned that the U.S. needed to prepare for defenses against fighters that possess fantastic speed and are able to fly from one pole to another. Bunger claimed during the mission, reconnaissance aircraft encountered seamless, metallic, disc-shaped craft. One such object paced Bunger's own plane for 7 minutes, matching his speed and altitude perfectly without any visible means of propulsion. When Bunger tried to bank his plane, the object shifted position instantly, blocking his path as if it didn't need to travel through space to move. The encounter ended when the object accelerated vertically and vanished, leaving the aircraft's electronics to reboot as if nothing had happened. The suppression of Bunger's manuscript suggests a desperate effort to keep these discoveries from the public. If his account is true, it means the military encountered technologies that dwarf our own and has spent the last 70 years quietly excavating them under the guise of climate research. Today, as multiple nations increase their presence in Antarctica and satellite imagery reveals more anomalies, the race to control this ancient technology may be reaching a breaking point. Bunger's manuscript, once hidden in a Bible and now digitized for a new generation, serves as a reminder that the truth has a way of surfacing. It challenges us to look beyond the established narrative and ask why the most inhospitable place on Earth is also the most heavily guarded.